Hello everyone, this is Ali Reza. Today we'll start and finish what we need for our databases inside the game, inside our stuff. If you are not familiar with the concept of using generics, please, before watching this video tutorial, find a video tutorial about generics in C# on YouTube. There are a bunch of very good tutorials out there. Watch them, get familiar, and then come back. So let's start with implementing our class and well, item generic database is a good name. And again, I want it to be the top namespace, not in any sub namespace. Now, when you are using generics, you go like this, T. This means a type. And right now that type is redundant. We are not using it, okay? It will inherit from scriptable object. Okay. And now to make this object being able to use for each loop, you need to implement IEnumerable of type T, and you see that it imports system collection generic. And at the end, we need to define what is the T. So we say where T is any class. Okay? And you see that it's yelling at us that we need to implement missing members, and that's that. Well, to make it work right there, and we have a public IEnumerator T get enumerator. We say return for time being return null because we don't have anything there. And then we have IEnumerable.getEnumerator that calls this public class, the public method. Okay. Back to our case, we have a serialized field, and that is a list of type T that we are sending in by the class definition, and we call it database. Not satabase, database. And we right now instantiate it. Okay? After that, we want to make some methods that are wrappers around this list because we don't want to make the list public. So we will say public void add. What we send in is a type, and we call it item. All we are doing, we say database.add the item. If you don't add this line, when you close Unity and reopen it, you will lose stuff. So editor utility, and you see that it's in Unity editor, dot set dirty this. Now, one thing, when you have Unity editor, it means that if you compile this script inside a game, when you want to run the game, it will yell at you that, hey, you have Unity editor in a class in a solution that is not related to the editor solution. So to avoid it, we say if Unity editor, and of course we need end if. Okay? And we will use this line a lot, so I copy it. Then we say public void insert. What we want is an int as index and the item itself, that is type T, and we say database dot insert at index what we want to insert, that is item, and again set 30. Then we say public void remove, and what we want to remove is item, and we say database dot remove the item and set the database to dirty. Then why did I have a duplicated method? I remember. Oh yeah, I will tell you. So public void remove, and here we need int, and we call it index. What the heck? Int index, and here we say database dot remove at, and it's from list itself. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. So index and set the method to dirty. Now, if we keep it this way, and if we run the code, it will be okay unless we use reflection. When we use reflection to invoke this method, well, guess what? We will get an error because both methods has same name but different argument types, and reflection wouldn't be able to choose one. So I will add an item in here, and when we will go back for using reflection, it will be happy. Then we say public, we get an item, we call it get int index, and we say return from database dot element at, this is using link, so it adds using link on top, element at index. No, index. Thank you. And after that, we say public int count, and we simply return the database.count. So as you see, we are wrapping the internal list methods with our own version. So public void replace in the int index and the item we want to replace. So we say database of index equals to t, and set the database to dirty. No, not t, item. Thank you. Okay, now we want to have a way to generate this database on the fly. For this, we will use generics again. So we say public static, another generic that we call not UIHR info. Thank you. And we say get, get database and capital G. And we send in the same generic type, and we send in a string as name, a string as folder, but I will assign a default name for this folder. This means that I can ignore sending in the folder as param. So string path equals to, and I will assign the path again, rpg/item system. Okay, and where u is scriptable object. Now we need to return something, but first we say string asset base path equals to asset / plus path. I can't use my constants here because we may want to send in different base. So we say string db full path equals to asset base path plus / plus the folder name plus forward slash plus the name plus dot asset. And then we say the type U that we asked, we call it DB, equals to asset database that load asset at path, DB full name, and the type we want is type of the U that we sent in, and finally we typecast it as U. Then we say if DB equals to null, means that we don't have any database there. We first do a sanity check and we say if asset database dot is valid folder, the folder we want is asset base path plus forward slash plus the folder name. So if the folder is not there, then we say asset database dot create the folder for us, and inside the asset base path and the name of the folder that we want to be created. After that, we say DB equals to create instance of type U. This is for scriptable object, okay? And say asset database dot create asset DB and inside DB full path. After that, we say asset database dot save assets and asset database dot refresh. After the end, not here, but after the if, at the end we return the DB. Okay? And by that, our generic database is done. Now, guess what? Creating databases, and I can get rid of this temp. Generating the databases is really easy now. So, first of all, inside database, we want a class, and we call it item quality database. Inside, so the namespace is the item system. Now the class is not scriptable, the item generic database of type, and the type is item quality. Believe it or not, just by having these few lines, we already have a database that is scriptable object. We want to do system.serializable, and that is our quality database. Now the rest of databases are just like this, so I will copy it, and we add our, that was quality, let's do item rarity database. I will paste this at the end. The only thing I need is this. The type is item rarity. And now I can get rid of the rest. Save. And another one that is item category database. And bam, no. The whole thing. Thank you. Yeah, what did I do? Control C, Control V, and that is item category. And that's the databases for time being. I will have one more for equipment slot. I have the base. Yeah, let's add it. Let's add it. So alt insert class equipment slot database, and Now, do I want to keep it inside item system sub namespace? I don't think so, because equipment slot can be used inside. No, wait. No. Thank you. And that is equipment slot. And because it's in the main namespace, it's importing that sub namespace for us. Okay. So we finished our databases. In next episode, for time being, we finished our database, our base, our interfaces. Statics, we will work on that, but we have tons of editors to finish. Okay, in next episode, I will start editors, maybe by quality editor, and then a duplication that is rarity editor. We will see what will happen. Until next episode, have fun, everybody. Bye-bye.